All right, Shalom. This is Las Vegas Men of Valor Camp. First and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 100% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Bayasha Double Dot, the house of David. All right, once again, this is Men of Valor, Las Vegas Camp. All right, coming to you today through the spirit at camp. All right, but without further ado, it's a little chilly out here. We're going to go ahead and get to the lesson. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the 12 tribes. Salakia. So let's go ahead and start Exodus chapter 1. Salakia. 1 through 4.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
All right, so these are the tribes of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Argentinians, Chileans, all right, so on and so forth. All right, you are the chosen people of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, you are the children of the Most High. Okay, and you know that through the prophecies. All right, you know that through the curses that we're up under. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull Exodus 19 and 20, or Slaki, Exodus 19 and 3, start at 3 through 8, and then go ahead and pull 20 as well.
Book of Exodus. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 3. It reads, And Moses went up unto the power, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob.
Now once again, Salakia, the house of Jacob, all right, which was surnamed Israel. All right, so the house of Jacob. All these souls came out of the house of Jacob. Continue.
And tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
A peculiar treasure unto Yahweh, which the world calls God, or Jehovah. His name is Yahweh, and his son is Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Continue.
Verse 6, And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of priests.
And a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Once again, the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans. Continue.
And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord hath spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord.
Okay? So they returned the people, Salakia. Moses returned the words of the people, which are you Israelites, the 12 tribes that we just went over. Once again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, that you are the children of the Most High that we entered this covenant unto. All right? And to prove that, let's go ahead and get more details on the covenant. All right, and why were we up under these curses?
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Hold that. So, once again, now, what's the header of that? What's the covenant? The covenant is those 10 commandments. We know that there's more than 10 commandments, but it's the 10 commandments of Israel. All right? Those are the commandments for who? The Israelites. Start again from the top.
And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Shall have no other power. So we're not supposed to worship any other god or any other graven image that takes away from our power, which we know is the power of Israel. Continue.
Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the sea, or under the earth. Sakia. Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I the Lord thy power am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
God. So we're not supposed to bow down to any other power. We're not supposed to make any graven images of anything in the earth, whether it be a waterfall, whether it be a calf, whether it be a cross, whatever it is. All right. You have a power, and that power is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the power of Israel.
I'll put it right here.
God.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 4. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your power.
All right, so we're not supposed to make molten gods. All right, so that's going back into the account of Exodus chapter Salakia, Deuteronomy. It's Exodus. Go to Exodus 32. Read that again, huh?
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 4. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your power.
God. So we're not supposed to make graven images. We're not supposed to make those graven images. So what did we do? We went off. We went off as soon as we got into the covenant. All right? As soon as Moses came down from that mount, when he was up in that mount, we went off. And here's the account.
The book of Exodus chapter 32 verse 1, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us powers which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we will not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it into a molten calf. And they said, These by the powers, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Stop after 6.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
So we went off as a nation when Moses was up in the mount getting the directions and the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, that's why we're under the curses that we are under today. All right, as a people, as a nation. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, so on and so forth, all the way down to Mexicans, Guatemalans. All right? This is why. This is that account. Go ahead and go down, keep that same, and go down, read verse 7 and 8. 7, 8, and 9.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 7.
Oh, not Leviticus. Go ahead, Paul. You got it already?
What do you want to hold on to?
No, I thought you were there too, Salakia. That's Exodus.
Still in Exodus 32.
Gone. Just read through 9. But those are the images. We made an image on something that was on the earth. On the earth, we went off. And Moses hadn't even come down from the mount. But listen to what Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai says.
And so the book of Exodus chapter 32 verse 7, and the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
Hold that. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai already said, go get thee down. We have already corrupted ourselves. Just that quickly. We entered a covenant with the Most High, and then we turned around and pissed it off as a nation. All right? It didn't have to be all of us because we are judged as a nation. Continue.
Verse 8, they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy powers, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
He just brought us out of the land of Egypt, and we already turned back around. Already turned back around searching for something else that just brought us out of the land of Egypt. All right, continue.
Verse 9, and the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
You stiff-necked people. All right? Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai called us a stiff-necked people. All right? Which, and right, we went off. All right, so these curses fell upon us. Go to Deuteronomy.
I got it. Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, Keep all the commandments which I command you this day. And it shall be on the day when you shall pass over Jordan until the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, that thou shalt set thee up great shall set thee up great stones, and plaster them with plaster. And thou shalt write upon them all the words of this law when thou art passed over, that thou mayest go in unto the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, a land that floweth with milk and honey, as the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai of thy fathers have promised thee.
God. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai had already promised us something, which was that land. All right? But we didn't keep that covenant that he set forth because we went off. So the curses are going to befall us. All right?
The book of Exodus chapter 32 verse 10, Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Moses besought the Lord his power, and said, Lord, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt, with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of his evil against thy people.
Khan. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai was mad at us. He was mad at us because what did he do? What did he do? He fulfilled his word that he told unto us. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 26, and it reads, Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing and a curse. All right? 27. A blessing if you obey the commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, your power, which I command you this day. A curse if you will not obey the commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, your power, but turn aside out of the way which I commanded you this day, and go after other gods which ye have not known. That's exactly what we did as a people. All right? We turned aside. We said, it's okay. We'll get it next time. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh said, no, you'll get it this time. All right?
Let me get that real quick. It's in Luke.
God. All right? So this is why. The curses that have befalled upon us. All right? And we're going to pull some of those curses. All right? You got that first?
Luke 9 and
God.
expedience. It said verse 50.
And you got a curse?
Good. I'm still looking for it.
All right? So I'll go ahead and pull it.
It says right here.
Salakia. Going to some of these curse, if we would have paid attention. All right? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. And it reads, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city." All right, so we are cursed in the city. I don't give a heck which city you lived in. If you fall under the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, you are cursed. All right? And if you think you're not cursed, that's probably because you sold out. All right? That's probably because you committed some abominable act. You might be a part of some abominable group. And it's only abominable unto you because you are the children of Israel, the children of the Most High. And let me continue. "Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall thou be, cursed shall be the basket of thy store." All right? So if you have anything, you shall not prosper. All right? You go and you get money together for a business. Your business might thrive for a minute, but 9 times out of 10, that business ends up failing. Or you got to sell that business off or bring a partner in. And that partner is usually somebody from another nation that ends up taking your business. All right? Verse 18, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. All right? So your children, so on and so forth, your health, and the fruit of thy land. All right? So most of you so-called Negroes, Latinos of the 12 tribes, all right, don't own anything. The increase of thy kin, those children, that family, is cursed. And the flocks of thy sheep, all right? If you have livestock on a farm, so on and so forth, typically it's cursed, all right? And now just because we are not receiving the hell once that we were receiving as much, it does not mean that we're not under the curses. You got that yet?
Still, it's in Corinthians. I'm looking.
Okay, go ahead and drop that. Let's go.
I got it right here. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. "All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient."
All right, so all things aren't expedient. Salakia, it took a while for the brother to find it, but all things aren't expedient. So that means if the curses that we're under, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai doesn't pass judgment expediently all the time. All right? Because what is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Long suffering. But it doesn't mean, it's like your parents telling you, you know, when I get home, you're going to get that whooping that I told you was going to get last night when I get home. Didn't mean that you got away from the whooping. All right? 9 times out of 10, if you had a parent like mine, they'd get you while you were sleeping. All right? So, Salakia, flashbacks. All right, let's get a couple more curses and let's go ahead and move on.
All right, I got the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you."
Khan, sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, so on and so forth, all right? Of the 12 tribes of Israel, you're enslaved today, All right? It's slavery just with a different package. Different packaging. They just wrapped it another way. They allowed you to live in your home but still form these unrighteous decrees. All right? They give you wages and unjust wages to what your financial situation. All right?
I'll go back to chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall lead thee.
An astonishment. Matter of fact, read that again. A byword. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Western Neo-Indians. You don't have your biblical heritage. Salakia.
Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
All nations. You're a byword amongst all nations. Not some nations, all nations. You, Israel, it's you.
All right, now chapter 28, verse 48. Thou therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Was there not a yoke of iron upon you so-called Negroes' neck, so-called Latinos, Native Americans, but especially you Negroes, Haitians, all right? You West Seminole Indians, all right? Yokes of iron. Look it up. Go to the internet and look up yoke of iron. All right? They have images there of Jake in slavery. All right? Your enemies. Who are our enemies? Well, let's go ahead and get it.
This is
Pull that enemy chart up on your phone. Go ahead and read.
Psalms verse.
Psalms 83. And start at verse 3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Well, who are the hidden ones? That would be us! Okay? That would be us. Because, Salakia, we were scattered amongst the nations. We went into bondage. We were sold. Do you know your heritage? Trace your forefathers back. You can't, because you were scattered. Continue.
Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. Because Israel is a people before it is a place. All right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai deals with Israel. Your so-called God of the Bible, you so-called Christians, deals with Israel. The 12 tribes. He don't even deal with the other heathen nations.
And I also got this. This is Baruch, the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 30.
No, come on. Keep on reading that.
Oh,
hold that, but
Okay.
keep on reading that.
This is okay. This is the book of Psalms 83, verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
One consent.
They are confederate against thee.
Confederate. All together against you, Israel.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Tabernacles of Edom. Salakia, you can cut that. He's got it right here.
Okay.
Well, this is the list of the heathens.
All the way out. All the way. And
Alright,
this
so
is
we
the
got-
list of the heathen nations. You so-called heathen nations, this is the list. So you can know who you are.